Hey, Scott. Janice deals out 2 brand new decks of cards, and here comes a new challenger on Card Sharks. Debbie Newman. Hi, Debbie.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Won't you tell us about Debbie Newman?
My name is Debbie Newman. I'm an ex-drill instructor in the Women's Army Corps. I've traveled around for the last 3 years. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And in the last 12 months, I've lived in 7 different states.
An ex-drill instructor in the women's... Now, I've got to ask you, Fred, of course, with there been so much in the papers about it and on television and all, what do you think about women being drafted, Deb?
I love it. Why shouldn't they go? We do a better job.
Oh, there's a reason we do a better job. Nice to have you here, Debbie.
Thank you.
You cut the cards?
Sure did.
Here we go. We start the best 2 out of 3. Debbie, I wouldn't want you for a drill instructor. You sound... All right, guys, go.
I'm harmless.
Start the match. The question to you, Scott. Scott, we found 100 single women who are living with a man. And we asked them, if you got pregnant, would you insist your man marry you? How many women said if they got pregnant, they would insist their live-in boyfriend marry them?
Well, first of all, knowing that you can give that baby any name you want, it makes no difference whether you're married or not. You can still give it the father's last name. You can still live together. You don't have to have that piece of paper. I think most women realize that today. It's going to be a low number, 18.
18 out of 100 would insist on the marriage, Debbie.
I say nowadays, I don't think a woman is more into that wanting to man to marry her. You know, they know what they're in for, right? I mean, they're doing it already, you know? Okay, I say it's got to be higher.
A little higher than that.
Yeah.
The actual number of women who said if they got pregnant, they'd insist their man marry them is 15. It is not higher, it's lower. And Scott was right with that one. And he starts off the match with a queen.
All right, lower, Jim.
Playing the queen lower. It is a 7.
Freeze.
1 card advantage, keeping Debbie away from her cards. And Debbie, here's your first question. Debbie, we found 100 ex-convicts. These are all men who have served time in prison. And we asked them, is there anything about prison that you miss? How many ex-convicts said there is something about prison they actually miss?
My husband's an attorney, and I know quite a few ex-cons. And there's always, it's like, I know some of them that think it's like home. And it's got to be 40, 50.
50. All right. See, it went up just while we were talking. That's inflation for you. 40 to 50. 50 out of 100 say there's something they miss, Scott.
The recidivism rate in prisons throughout all the states in this country is astronomically high. It's pitiful. However, I think that's more of a subconscious thing where they go back. They're not really wanting to go back. They just do things. Maybe their subconscious wants to go back. I don't know what it is. But I don't think you're going to find 50 that are going to admit that they missed something about prison. Lower.
You say lower. Yes, not only is the recidivism rate high, but the rate of going back is also high. It is 50 for Debbie, lower for Scott. The actual number of ex-convicts who said there's something about prison they miss is 27. Scott is right. It is lower. Scott, you got a 7.
Change it.
He wants to get rid of it.
Higher.
Higher than the 7. No, it too is not higher. And Debbie, a break for you. Your first chance at a 7 also.
Higher.
Higher than the 7. An 8.
Freeze.
Freezing on the middle card. We have a tie as Janice fills in the space. And the question to you, Debbie. Debbie, the question is to Scott. I beg your pardon. Scott, we found 100 women who are professional truck drivers. And we asked them, would you trust a woman mechanic to work on your truck? How many women truckers would trust a woman mechanic to work on their truck?
Well, diesel engine's a pretty hard thing to work on. It's pretty big. It's not really complicated, but it's still hard to work on. I still believe that a woman who's driving truck has liberated herself, and I think she's going to trust the woman anyway. It's going to be fairly high, 65.
65 out of 100 would trust a woman mechanic.
They might trust them, but it's still the idea that it's a woman, and you just have this image of a woman being, not working on a truck. I'm going to say it's got to be a little lower.
So you think even the women would not want women?
No.
Huh? Interesting. The actual number of women truckers who would trust a woman mechanic to work on their truck is 79. Not lower, it is higher. They trust them a lot more than you thought, Debbie. Scott, you've got a 7.
Change it again.
And again, he wants to get rid of that middle card. A little better this time, a 6.
Higher.
Higher than the 6, a 10.
Freeze again.
Again, a 1 card advantage. Thank you, Janice. As we move over the freeze bar, the question to you, Debbie. Debbie, we found 100 bachelors. We asked, excuse me, I want to check. This is first a sudden death, is it not? Yes, this is sudden death, right. So I want to remind you of that and the control, very important. Debbie, we asked 100 bachelors. If you truly loved a girl, but you knew another guy would make her happier, would you step aside? How many bachelors said if they loved her, they would step aside?
Oh, I think that that's going to be relatively high. If they really loved her, they want to make her happy. I'm going to say 35.
35 out of 100. That high, huh? 35 out of 100 would step aside, Scott.
You were right, idiots. They're going to be thinking, well, maybe this is a really love now, but I can bring her around later. She's going to love me more later. I can work at it, blah, blah, blah. Lower.
Lower. This decides control and sudden death. The actual number of bachelors who said they'd step aside is 57, not lower. Debbie has control. Debbie, you've got an 8. It is sudden death. You need 3 cards. Scott with a 10 needs 2. Do you want to play it?
I give it to Scott.
Scott, turn them both over. You win the game, but one mistake, it belongs to Debbie. You've got a 10.
Lower?
Lower? It is an 8. Right up the middle. Higher. And now the big call for the win. Higher. It is higher. Scott turns over 2 in a row and wins game number 1. We'll be back with game 2 right after this. Game 1 to the champion. Janice deals out. Same 2 decks with the next cards off the top of the deck. And we'll start game 2 with a question to you, Scott. Scott, we asked 100 housewives. Be honest. Do you ever feel just a little guilty because you stay home while your husband has to go to work every day? How many housewives do feel guilty because they stay home while their husband has to work?
Are you kidding? All they got to say is, look, my job is 24 hours a day. You work 8 hours and come home. And in a way, that's true. I mean, if they got children especially, their job's 24 hours a day. It's got to be a low number that feel guilty. 18?
18 out of 100 feel guilty, Debbie.
I think that women, they don't feel guilty, but they think they do a lot, but yet and still, I know whenever I sit at home just watching soap operas and things, you know, and even though I'm working and doing things, I still feel a little upset, so I got to say it's higher.
How do you work and watch the soap operas?
Oh, I work temporary. I do everything. Real estate, you name it.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant while you were watching the soap operas, you're working at home, too. 18 for Scott, higher for Debbie. The actual number of housewives who feel guilty because they stay home while their husband has to work is 35. Debbie is right. It is higher. I must say that's a surprisingly high number because they have a tough job. Debbie, you start off with a 5.
Higher.
Playing it higher, a 7.
Freeze.
Now it's Debbie with a 1-card advantage. Question to you, Debbie. Debbie, we asked 100 men who wear a toupee. Right? Picture a man wearing a toupee. Has your toupee ever come off in the middle of a romantic interlude? How many men said yes, their toupee has come off in the middle of a romantic interlude?
Okay, I used to wear a fall myself, and I've had it come off, so I know this has got to be, let's say 50.
50. I'd love to pursue the subject further, Debbie, but we'll go to Scott. He says at 50. What do you think?
I'm picturing 2 people really in a romantic mood, and they're petting each other, and they're running hands through hairs. It's got to be higher than that. You got
higher than that.
Something.
Well, the audience is agreeing with. Well, kind of split on that. What do you think at home? The actual number of men who said their toupee has come off in the middle of a romantic interlude is 24. It's not higher. It's lower. Debbie. Of course, some of them may have passed it off as a bird's nest or something. Debbie, you've got a 7.
Change it, please.
Want to get rid of that middle card? And a 6, a little better.
Higher, Jim.
Higher than the 6. A jack.
Lower, Jim.
Risking it lower. A 2.
Higher.
To tie up the match. It is higher. Debbie, I must say, for a while there, I didn't think you were going to see anything but middle cards until that 2 and the king came up, but now we set up for the tiebreaker. 3 cards up there, 3 questions here, and Scott, we start the tiebreaker with you. Now, it's been recently revealed that FBI agents posed as Arab businessmen and offered bribes to congressmen. We've all read and heard about that. So we asked 100 people, do you think what the FBI did was wrong? How many people think it was wrong for the FBI to test congressmen by offering them illegal bribes?
No, when we elect somebody and put them in office, we have the right to expect that they're going to be honest. And if a lot of people thought this was entrapment, I don't think so. I think even if it was entrapment, if they were offered a bribe and took it, entrapment or not, they're wrong. You said how many?
How many say it was wrong for the FBI to do that?
Low number. 24.
24 out of 100 say it was wrong. Debbie, what do you think?
Okay, I'm going to say you want to believe they're honest, but everybody knows politicians are relatively crooked anyway. Okay, the FBI to me is crooked, but I'm going to say higher.
Higher. You think more people would think it was wrong? I love that they offer them illegal bribes. What's a legal bribe? Right? 24 says Scott. Higher says Debbie. The actual number of people who think it was wrong for the FBI to test congressmen by offering them bribes is 35. Debbie is right. It is higher. And the challenger starts off the tiebreaker with a 3.
Higher.
Higher than a 3. An 8.
Freeze.
He's going to freeze on that middle card, needing 1 card for the championship. Question 2 to you, Debbie. Debbie, we asked 100 people. Listen to this. 100 people. Have you ever gotten scalded in the shower because someone flushed at the wrong moment? How many people have gotten scalded in the shower because someone flushed at the wrong moment?
Okay, since the water systems always seem to be pretty bad, let's see. It's going to have to be a relatively high number. I'm going to go with 49.
49 out of 100 have had that happen to them, Scott.
That's happened to me on more than one occasion, and it's got to be higher than that.
Higher than that. Sure. The actual number of people who've gotten scalded in the shower because someone flushed at the wrong moment is 34. It is not higher, it's lower. Debbie again has control. Debbie, you're looking at an 8.
I'm going to change it, please.
Get rid of that middle card. A 5. Better.
Higher, Jim.
If this is higher, we have a new champion for the win. Debbie wins the championship. Scott, say goodbye. Done very well. $7,950 in cash. You're a fine player, Scott. Thank you for joining us. Scott Poulter. Debbie Newman, come on down here. Congratulations. Thank you. You look very good. You didn't think you were going to do it. I'm excited. Debbie Newman, our new champion, is $200 richer. She goes for the big money. We're going to take time out for this commercial break.
3. A representative of the studio audience will receive Hamilton Beach's food processor. Instant starting speed. It chops, minces, purees, mixes, and blends, complete with attachments, furnished by Hamilton Beach Scoville. And some of our contestants will receive a bakeware set and Campbell's Chunky Soup, made for people who want more than soup. Chunk after chunk of delicious food is more like a meal than a soup. A tote Unicap M from Upjohn contains 11 essential vitamins and 6 key minerals, including iron and zinc. Unicap M, because you need minerals too. A waffle iron and Staley syrup, the all-natural syrup, no preservatives, nothing artificial. Staley syrup with a rich country maple flavor that naturally tastes better. A gift pack and Flame Glow, innovative cosmetics for today's young woman. Flame Glow has beautiful lip colors, soft blushes, and creamy cosmetic pencils for lips and eyes. A shaving kit and sensational tannery safely cleans, conditions, helps protect leather or vinyl, shoes, boots, purses, furniture, car tops, and interiors. Tannery helps them last longer. This is Gene Woods speaking for Card Sharks, a Mark Goodson-Bill Todman Productions.